When I first got into music, all I wanted to do was move people. Like, I wanted to write the kind of songs that would make you pull your car over because a lyric hit you so deep that you couldn't control your emotions. But you know, those days are gone. We're no longer in the music industry. We're in the attention industry. We're fighting for people's attention constantly. For a lot of us, it's become an addiction. And later in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can break that addiction. But first, I know some of you are going to say, James, it's always been this way. It just feels different now because of social media. And I get what you're saying. Yes, we've always been trying to capture people's imagination. But there's a difference between capturing someone's imagination and grabbing their attention. It just feels like when you create something now, it doesn't even matter if it means something to you. It just matters if it performs well. Like, did people click on it? Did they comment? Did they stay past the 10-second mark? We used to create for the people, for the soul. But now, it just seems like we create for the algorithm. And I'll be honest with you, I've played that game. I've bought into it. I've adjusted lyrics because I thought they might be too subtle for social media. I mean, I've cut out intros to songs because I didn't want to risk losing a listener in the first few seconds. So I've been there. I'm guilty. I've even questioned my gut because I saw a graph once that said the average viewer drops off after the first 8 seconds. And when you do that long enough, you forget how to trust your instincts. You start focusing on what's going to work instead of what's true. So I'm going to tell you about a specific moment that really sticks with me. I was in the studio writing with an artist, a really talented artist, and he played me a rough version of a song that just blew my mind. It was so good. It was raw and honest and kind of sloppy, but really beautiful. And he looked at me and said, "Yeah, I love this version, but I don't think it's TikTok worthy." And I just sat there like, what are we doing? Here's this amazing piece of music, and we're basically focused on whether it will trend. And listen, I get it. I really do. This is the world we're in now. And if you want to get your message out, you've got to learn how to package it. You've got to learn how to play the game. But just because something works, it doesn't mean it's good. At least not in my book. So let's shift gears here for a second. When I was touring all the time, one of the most beautiful things that I just always loved was when you'd have these moments where you connected with the audience and there was almost a stillness, like thousands of people screaming, and then suddenly they'd all just go quiet and they were just listening. They weren't reacting, they weren't filming, and they weren't sharing. They were just, feeling. They were in the moment. They were present, and you could almost hear people breathing. But then something changed. That just doesn't happen anymore. Now people just hold up their phones. We don't just experience things now, we document them. And here's the thing. It's like the audience wants attention too. They're not recording it so that they can genuinely share it with people. They're recording it so they can say, hey, look at me. Look where I was. Look what I experienced. They're looking for attention. You see what I'm getting at here? Everyone's looking for attention. Man, I know I'm starting to sound like a grumpy old man, and maybe I am. But I just think that this addiction we have with attention seeking is pushing us to a point of no return. And I think that's dangerous. I'm going to tell you a story about a songwriting experience that I had that's going to blow your mind, because it really proves exactly what I'm talking about here. I was living in Nashville at the time, and I was taking a little bit of time off from the road. So I was at my studio, and I was doing a lot of writing sessions. So I would have record labels contact me and say, hey, we've got this artist, and we want them to come write a song with you or write a few songs. And that was a pretty common scenario for me. So I had gotten a call from a manager saying, I've got this young artist, she's really talented, and she wants to work with you. So I put it on the schedule, and a couple of weeks later, she shows up at my studio. And the first thing I noticed was she couldn't even look me in the eye. She was so enamored with her phone and with taking videos and taking pictures. Like, she documented every single moment from the minute she showed up at my studio. And I thought that was kind of odd. She didn't seem interested in her artistry or writing songs at all. So anyway, we sat down and we started working on a song. And I'm telling you, she brought nothing to the table. She actually had no interest in writing a song. All she cared about was filming with her phone. And this went on for probably 3 or 4 hours. And I just thought to myself, well, this is a complete failure. I mean, I came up with some melody lines and some lyrics that I thought maybe would work for her, but she just had no response. And as far as writing sessions go, this is the worst writing session I'd ever had in my life. But fast forward a few hours after she left, and I start looking on social media, and she was posting all of these pictures and videos of she and I working together in the studio and saying, this was so awesome, wrote a killer song, this was amazing, what a great day. And I thought to myself, my God, we didn't come up with anything. This was a terrible day. And in that moment, I realized it was never about the song for her. It was all about the attention that she was going to get for posting these pictures and videos on her social media. All she cared about was getting views and likes for a completely false narrative. And here's the part that really got to me. The posts that she made, they got numbers. They got tons of likes. They got tons of comments and shares. She probably gained a few thousand followers from it. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there staring at my studio walls, just thinking, where are we now? Is this what matters? Because I grew up believing that music could save people. Real music could. I believed that songs were supposed to come from the most honest, vulnerable part of your soul. And now it feels like we're just creating content, not art, not truth, just content all the time. That's all it is anymore. And look, I'm not above it. I've felt that dopamine rush when a post goes viral. I've refreshed pages on Instagram or YouTube hundreds of times just to see if I could get a video or a post across some imaginary milestone. I've literally let the numbers decide how I feel about something that I believed in at one point. Here's what I've realized. Attention is a drug. And the more you get it, the more you need it. just to feel okay. And like any addiction, it literally rewires your brain. It's like we don't think about whether it's good or whether it's meaningful anymore. We think about, will this go viral? Will this trend? Will this make them look at me? And that's a dangerous place to be, especially for artists. Because when you build your identity around being noticed, you lose touch with who you are when nobody's watching. So I had to make a choice. I had to redefine my idea of success, not by views or shares or even applause, but by one simple question. Does this feel honest? That's it. Because if it's honest, I believe it has value, whether one person hears it or 1 million people hear it. If it's honest, it stands the test of time. You know, in a world where everybody's trying to be seen, there's something really powerful about being real instead. And here's my advice to anyone who's feeling caught in that trap. Number 1, stop measuring your worth by your metrics. Seriously, stop checking. Stop obsessing. The numbers don't define the impact. Number 2, create things that you would make even if nobody ever saw them. Because that's where your soul is. That's the stuff that matters. Number 3, remember that your attention is just as valuable as anyone else's. So spend it wisely. Don't just scroll. Don't just consume. Choose what you give your energy to. And finally, number 4, give yourself permission to disappear sometimes. You don't have to post everything. You don't have to be on all the time. Some of the most impactful moments of my life happened in silence, when no one was watching. You see, the attention industry wants you to believe that you have to hustle every second of every day. But that's not living, man. That's performing. And you're not a product. You're a person. So if you've been feeling lost in this noise and this chaos, I get it. I really do. But I promise you, attention is not the same as love. It's not the same as purpose. And it's definitely not the same as happiness. So take the risk of being honest, even if it cost you some likes, some shares, even if it means fewer people see it. Because the people who really need to hear what you have to say, they'll feel it. And they'll stay. And in the end, that's all that matters. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for listening. Take care.